Welcome to our first asana practice of the Menopause Yoga Sleep series. The intention of this practice is to bring you into your awareness of your spine, of the mobility of your body, and into your breath, as well as starting to hone the practice of prioritizing self-care in the sense of making it a practice to notice what you need. So we'll get started. Oh, and by the way, this is a practice you can do at any time, even though it's the series, Menopause Yoga Sleep. This particular practice, as I said, is just meant to attune your awareness to your breath, to your mobility, so you can do it at any time. So we'll begin standing on your mat. Standing in the anatomical hips distance. We'll start with that, and then sometimes it's better to be in a place that's more comfortable, but for right now, just so that you know what the anatomical hips distance is, bringing your hands to the front of your body, you feel your hip points. So some of us have a little bit more than others to squeeze through, or some of us have less than others to squeeze through. Either way, the bones that are pointing forward, you want to line that up with your second toe. Sometimes people like to take 2 fists and measure between the big toe mounds. Either way, that's about the distance of your hips. We measure our bodies with our bodies. And then we're going to start with a release breath. So taking a big breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And then again, letting go. And one more. And then bringing one hand to your low belly and one hand to the center of your chest, unless this causes your breath to come up into your chest or causes your mind to race, in which case I'll just let your arms be by your side. So either way, and then you're going to allow the presence of your body to push into the edges of your feet. I'm going to switch my hands here to get away from my microphone. So the presence of your body is going to push into the outer edges of your feet. And then you're going to let your awareness travel between noticing what you notice on the bottoms of your feet and seeking your center of gravity, this place inside of your body that's drawing you back to the center. And then coming to stillness, release your arms to the side of your body, and as you inhale, lift your arms up. And then as you exhale, we're going to let the arms come down and bend your knees a little bit. So it looks like this. Inhaling up. Exhaling down when you bend your knees, pressing into your heels. So like you're sitting back in an imaginary chair. Exhaling down, inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling down, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, one more, inhale. Exhale, and now coming back to center. Bring your hands once again to your low belly and your chest, or by the side of your body. And then we're going to take those circles again, and if you can, going in the opposite direction. So starting with the opposite foot. You might not remember which one you started with before. I'll just tell you it's probably the one that feels awkward if you don't remember exactly which way you went before. And again, letting the presence of your body push into the outer edges of your feet, while your awareness travels between noticing what you notice on the bottoms of your feet and seeking your center of gravity. So maybe you notice that your feet feel different. One feels like it gets more pressure or less pressure than the other. If you're wearing socks, maybe you can feel the fabric of your socks between your feet and the surface beneath. Maybe you notice that your toes take more pressure, or your heels. Just noticing whatever you notice on the bottoms of your feet. And then traveling up to seeking your center of gravity somewhere around your belly, right below your belly button. This is the place inside of your body that draws you right back to the center. All right, and slowly coming to stillness, release your arms to the side of your body, and we're just going to take a couple steps in place. This will help your feet move back to what is your natural stance. Maybe it is that anatomical hips distance, or maybe it isn't. Just taking a couple steps to find your natural stance now. And I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see a little bit better here. So you're going to inhale your arms up. And then as you exhale, you're going to come into that imaginary chair again, pushing your seat back. But this time you're going to bring your hands to the tops of your legs. And as you inhale, you're going to let your belly drop down. Push your sternum forward, maybe even looking forward a little bit. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then as you exhale, you're going to straighten your arms and round your spine, pushing your belly button up to the back of your spine. So now that you can see what we're doing, you can move into your own practice, taking your eyes away from the screen and your awareness into your own body. Inhaling, dropping your belly down, pressing your sternum forward, your shoulders squeeze gently together. Exhale, round your spine. Let your breath as it is guide you. Here, moving through our extension and flexion of the spine. Extending and flexing to the rhythm of your breath as it is. One more inhale, and now this time as you exhale, rounding your spine but releasing your hands and your legs and coming to fold forward. Letting your hands come to the top of your feet or your shins, wherever they land. And as you inhale, press your heart forward to rise up. So you're going to push into your heels, keep pressing your sternum forward, and then rise from there. Bring your hands along the front of your legs and then the side of your body and right up over your head. Bring your palms together, crossing one thumb over the other. And now here as you inhale, lift your ribs away from your hips. So finding the muscles that are just below where your ribs start to end, the muscles of your waist, and using them to push your ribs up, maybe lifting your sternum up to the sky. Noticing the changes in your breath as you reach up and tilt slightly back. And now on your next exhale, we're going to come back to that chair with arms swinging. So exhaling and then inhaling up. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, this time bend your elbows, exhale. Inhale, so your elbows are now bent, pushing behind you. Inhale, Exhale, 2 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Now bringing your palms together once again, this time crossing the other thumb. And as you inhale, lift your ribs away from your hips. And as you exhale, you're going to arc over to one side. It doesn't matter which side because we're going to do both. And then as you lean over, you're reaching. When you start to feel the pressure of your opposite foot lighten up, intentionally push it into the earth. And now on your next inhale, come back to center. Stay for the exhale. Lift your ribs away from your hips, turning your sternum to the sky. Coming forward. And then again, lifting your ribs away from your hips and now going to the other side. And the same thing here, as you reach up and over, noticing when the pressure releases on the opposite foot, and when it does, intentionally push your foot into the earth. On your next inhale, come back to center. Stay for the exhale, and then inhale, lift your ribs, turn your heart to the sky. On your next inhale, come forward, and then as you exhale, bring your hands down in front of your heart, allowing your thumbs to rest on your sternum. Let your elbows be straight out from your wrists, if possible. And then press your hands together until you feel the connection to the back of your body, enveloping yourself in your own heart energy. And now softening your arms by keeping your hands together. Turn your fingertips to face towards the screen or away from your body, and then push your fingertips forward until your arms straighten. Turn your palms away from each other. And then turn one arm, start to push one arm away from your body and following it with your eyes. Again, doesn't matter which, we're going to do both. You're following your arm with your eyes. At the same time, squeezing your shoulder blades together so you're holding your arm into the socket, pushing your arm away from you, following with your eyes, and then see if you can push the opposite hip behind you. So you're endeavoring to keep your hips forward as your arm pushes, and you're following with your head and your eyes only. And then when you get as far back as you're going to get, bring your arm all the way back to the front. Now your palm is facing in. So turn it out, and then we'll go to the opposite side. So watching your hand as you sweep it away from your body. Your eyes are on your hand, your attention is on the opposite hip, endeavoring to push your opposite hip away. Here we're practicing good, healthy twisting and mobility through the cervical spine, the neck, and through the upper spine. So you'll notice that my mobility is a lot different on this side than the other side. Yours might be like that too. So if you know that, if you see that, just know it's normal. Turning your head as much as your shoulder will turn. And then once your arm gets as far back as it's going to go, you're going to release it and bring it forward. And now once again, turning both palms out. interlace your fingers and then lift your arms up over your head. Bend your elbows so now your hands are on the top of your head. Maybe you can get them behind your head. So if you get your hands behind your head, check in with your ribs, because if your ribs, so let's see if I can do it to the side. So you pull your hands behind your head, and then if your ribs kind of push out, then you're creating this intense curve through your spine, and you want to protect your spine by using the front muscles of your body to push your ribs back in. So hopefully that comes across with the camera. So anyway, where were we? So your hands, your fingers are interlaced, your hands are behind your head. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, or your hands are above your head. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then gently release your arms to the side of the body and give your shoulders a little shake. And then you're going to take your feet a little bit wider than hips distance and let your arms swing. So keep your hips nice and stable, your hip points facing forward. And you're just going to first let your arms get a little noodly, shake them out a little bit, and then just turning the upper body like we just were when we were moving our arms. Letting your awareness come to the back of your body, so noticing what you're moving in the back of your body, and then coming to the front of your body, noticing what you're noticing moving in the front of your body, and then start to let the twist come a little bit deeper, so more towards the belly button. So by deeper, I mean lower in the body, twisting a little bit more and more, and then letting your hips now start to turn, and your knees are bending a little bit to turn, and then we're going to add a heel lift so we get a full body spiral. So as you turn away from your heel, you are lifting it up, and then we're going to add that release breath through your mouth. And slowly now coming back to center. All right, and so now we've been through all 6 movements of the spine. So we did extension. You don't have to lift your arms to extend your spine. I'm just illustrating. We did extension, and we did flexion, and then we did side to side, and then we did our twisting. So the way that you build somatic awareness, and somatic just means body, so the way that you foster this connection between the layers of your mind and the consciousness of the body is by noticing throughout your day what your body is doing. So now that we've done that, maybe when you turn around to back out of a parking spot, you have a different awareness of where your body is in space. So maybe you stabilize your hips a little bit before you turn, or I don't know what kind of side reaching we do in daily life, but sometimes I like to do this just for fun. Maybe a little bit reaching. I'm kind of a short person, so when I need to, I often am reaching. I guess that's a little side, but more shoulder. And then extension and flexion also, we don't do that enough. Whether you work on your feet most of the time like I do, or you sit like many people do, the spine kind of gets stuck in one position. So any time of day, practicing extension and flexion, even if you don't get up from your desk, Even if you stay seated, but practicing flexion and extension to the rhythm of your breath will bring that integration of body, mind, and spirit. So that was part of the intention of today's practice. All right, so now in any way that makes sense to you, you're going to come to a seat on your mat. If you're using a mat, you don't have to use a mat. Sometimes the only purpose of the mat is to designate the space of the practice. So in your seated position, you're going to bend your knees in front of you, taking your feet a little bit wider than hips distance. I guess I'll turn, no, it's okay. Your hands can be behind you to support you, and you can lean on them as much as you like. And then you're just going to rock your knees from side to side, letting some mobility and what we call ojas move into the hips here. And I guess I should have said that if you're not already lengthwise in your designated space or your mat, this would be a good position to be in, lengthwise. And then come to stillness, bringing the soles of your feet together. If your knees are up like this when you do this, that's fine. If they go all the way to the floor, that's fine too. You're just going to press your feet together. And as you press your feet together, see if you can bring some awareness to the muscles on the insides of your legs and push your legs also into the socket. And then one big breath in through your nose and out through your nose. And then returning to that bent knee shape, a little bit wider than hips distance, letting your knees go side to side. And if it feels like it might create a little space for you, you could try to get your knees all the way to the floor, but only if it feels like it's going to make some space maybe in the back of your hips for you. I want this to be a gentleish practice. All right, so now coming to center, you're going to make your way to lying on your back. I'm going to demonstrate and then I'm going to sit up because it just works better with the microphone. But you're going to lay on your back with your knees bent. You're going to take your feet a little bit wider than your hips and then bring your knees together, letting your legs rest on each other. Finding a shape that feels like as little work as possible. Sometimes if you turn your toes inwards, it makes it easier for the legs to rest on each other. Having your hands on your low belly can help to signal to the psoas muscle and to the other muscles of the abdomen to settle down. So you can see, may be able to see that my legs are not quite touching, but they're still resting towards each other. And then you're going to lift your fingertips up towards the sky so your arms are at about shoulders height. And then you're going to let as much softness come to your fingers and your arms so that they fall down onto your body. And letting them just be where they land. I'm going to take you through a brief guided meditation before the Shavasana, which is the final resting pose of the practice. So I'm going to encourage you here to have your eyes closed, or if they're open, gazing at a spot on the ceiling, what's called a drishti spot. Allow your awareness to turn inwards, past your thoughts, and to your breath. If your hands are resting on your body, allow that position to inform your awareness of your body and your breath moving through it. Perhaps you can hear the sound of the breath. The inhale says Sat, and the exhale Nam. Sat, Nam. If you like, filling the space of your mind with this sound as you inhale Sat, Nam, or if you prefer English, I am. I am. I am. I am. And now, if you like, you can continue the practice, or you can let that go as we move into Shavasana. For Shavasana, if your body feels as if it would like to linger in this shape for a little longer, then stay there. But if you prefer to move into a traditional Shavasana shape, the legs are extended long on the mat. The arms along the side of the body with the palms face up to symbolize openness and receptivity. Traditionally in Shavasana, the eyes are closed, encouraging the awareness inwards. But you can continue to have the eyes open, gazing at a drishti spot on the ceiling. Allowing the strength and resilience of your legs to be blanketed by gravity. Allowing the soft parts of your belly to be soft, supported and protected by the bones and structure of your body. Allowing the back of your heart and the back of your arms to be supported by the loving, stable space that you've created for yourself. Allow the size of your throat to expand for your breath, your jaw to soften, your ears to sink towards the earth, and your eyes to rest in their home. Allow a softness to come to the space behind your eyes as your brow slides to the crown of your head. And you rest now, surrendering your body to gravity and your mind to your breath. Allow fullness to return to your breath and your awareness to come to the edges of your body. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. As you inhale, raise your arms up over your head and press your toes away from your face, stretching your body and pushing into the space around you. And as you exhale, let out a sigh with as much sound as you like. Inhale, bring your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your knees and roll over onto one side, coming to rest on the side of your body, perhaps using your hands as a pillow. As you rest on your side, with your knees curled in, finding this original asana, the form in which your body was created. Rest into the certainty that there is a light within you that is untouched by anything that you've done or that's been done to you. This is the light that shines through your heart and guides your life if you allow it. In yoga, we call it the Atman, that through which knowing all else is known. After your next exhale, press into the floor with your top hand and peel yourself up, returning to a comfortable enough seated position, facing the screen and me. Gently gather your hands together at your heart center in a way that feels close to natural and right. Gently tuck your chin, bowing your head to your heart, your true teacher. And then as you inhale, come up, bring your chin parallel to the earth and creating a long spine, taking your rightful, dignified seat here. And in honor of your commitment to yourself and of your endeavor to taking good care of yourself, I will offer to you now the sound of Om one time. And if you'd like to join at home, that would be great. And let me know if you did. Take a full breath in. Thank you for committing to yourself and for making the world a better place by taking good care of you.